Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we analyze a replay of mine which I play with my Dragonmaid deck against the Shaddoll Invoked. Let's start into the game. I win rock, paper, scissors and I choose to go first. So my starting hand is Earnest, Noctivision, Chamber, Skullmeister and Chamber again. My opponent had Lancea, Shaddoll Fusion, Hedgehog, Wendy and Super Poly. So we shotgun the Lancea in standby. I start off with normal summoning Chamber, and here I decide to grab the Fusion since I can go into Shao with monsters in my hand and still end on seals because of Noctivision I have. So I Fusion summon with the cards in my hand, go into Strike Dragon, activate Noctivision, and normally I would pass here, but since my top deck with Noctivision was really good with Word Legacy, I decide to third my combo with the Guard Dragon place. So I bring back Chamber, LP gets me. Here I had to decide if I take Parlor or Black Metal, and I decide for Black Metal, just that I have another big dragon in hand for next turn and it's another extender. But maybe here I should have gone for Parlor, that I have because I only had Chamber in circulation, so I could get another Dragonmaid name in circulation. But yeah, I decided for Black Metal. I link that off, search, and with Pisty I revive Chamber, then the Fusion effect, and I Fusion LP and Pisty into Furious, so that way I have another interruption and I pass my turn. So my opponent top decks Phantasme, and here he could use Super Poly in draw phase before I could use my Shao, but I think he was not familiar with my card, so he didn't. Because now I get back some resources and another extender for my next turn. And main was okay, and here I knew it was Shaddoll, and then when I saw the Super Poly, it was a bit unfortunate that Shao is slide, because now we can go into Construct, but that's okay. I can bring back Shao with Chamber in battle phase if it does not out it before or negate it. So he goes chaining 1 Construct, chaining 2 Hedgehog, which I decide to Skullmeister, which was the right play because otherwise he could use Shaddoll Fusion also from hand even if I pop my extra deck monsters. So I go chaining 3 Skullmeister for Hedgehog and chaining 4 Heavenly Spheres, so that he does not get the add back, like the Schism or whatever he will send. Yeah, he sent Schism. Then he only had 2 cards in play. Ah yeah, the reason I choose Black Metal is because I saw my opponent didn't had any hand trap, so I knew that 90% my Heavenly Spheres will go off, and there I will get access to Parlor even on my opponent's turn. So I decided to go for Red MD. Yeah. Then with this I send Tiding, and here he activates Shaddoll Fusion, and since it's a quick effect I can pop itself and Shaddoll Fusion, so he does not get to send from deck. And then here my opponent just scoops because I had to put resources up. So for game 2 I sided in Cosmic Cyclone and evenly matched, which I draw. And I didn't know that my opponent is on Invoked as well, because I only saw the Shaddoll engine. So he starts off with Alice. Oh, my starting hand was World Legacy, Black Metal, Skull, Chamber, and Evenly. My opponent had 2 Alistairs, 1 Dynamicious, 1 Invocation, and 1 Foolish. It starts off with Invo. Alistair, search Invo. Just go Mechaba place. So here I don't know why he decided to Foolish. But it was okay. If he Foolish after Mechaba, he could negate the potential hand trap. So I Skullmeister that one. Then he use Invocation with Secure Guard and Alistair, bring up Mechaba, Invocation effect. And he set the Dynamicious. So for turn I draw World Legacy, which in this case is really good because Mechaba negates the activation of the card. And World Legacy can only be activated once per turn. So here I thought if I go evenly matched, I get rid of one of these cards, or he negates it, but then I have to deal also with only one potential interruption. So I decided to go battle phase evenly, and we see he had to banish the Dynamicious. Then I start off with Black Metal, and I decide to not use the effect. So because World Legacy has to revive from graveyard, and I need the monster in graveyard. So I decide to try to bait the Mechaba, which worked in this case. So we use the effect of Mechaba to negate, and if I would use Black Metal here, it would be banished and World Legacy would be turned off. So I just activate another one, and then I go for Spheres. And with this I get Black Metal. I think this was really well played by me. And then I just passed turn. So I knew the Alistair in hand and one unknown, but it was Alistair. And then he draw the Invocation. I have to check if he even shuffled his deck. Yeah, I think he shuffled. So it's unfortunate for him, but here I made a slight misplay, but I think my opponent didn't catch that. We go normal summon Alistair. Then I should wait for the Invocation to resolve, because he had only one card in hand and he could only negate one potential Heavenly Spheres effect. But I decided to chain Heavenly Spheres, and then he could banish his Alistair and my Heavenly Spheres for another Mechaba, which was would be not that optimal for me. Then he decides to negate the seal effect here. So this was not well played by me, but yeah, we have to learn by every game. Then I went too fast with the seal effect because he had to resolve Invocation first, and I chose to go for Raijin. So now Spheres effect, bring out Parlor. Parlor dumps the Tiding. So here I was in a pretty good position, even my opponent had like 3 monsters on the field. So he grabs Alistair back from the banish pile, then he books my Parlor, and here he didn't know that seals put my stack on 0-0. He could just attack with Alistair, but yeah, he missed some damage here. And then in end phase I activate Tiding. So I get Chamber on field, use her effect to grab another extender, and that way I can dump the Lord Power for free, and I know that Alistair is in hand, so, and it gets me another starter for my next turn. So Word Legacy God Rank top deck, which is really good in this situation, because now I have like 1, 2, 3 and a potential fourth extender for this turn, and he only had 1 interruption, 2 interruptions. So I started with normal summoning, and here he shotgun his negate, which is okay for me. Then activate hospitality. So I knew the only way he can interrupt me is by booking a monster I have. And here I sent the wrong card first, it's a lore par, and then parlor effect sends me to tiding. Then I go into Pisty and banish for black metal. Red MD, sorry. And here I don't know why he didn't book, because now I get a free plus, and he will book it in battle phase anyway. So I bring out Striker because black metal gets me like nothing. Heavenly Spheres has no attack, lore par, and parlor I can revive with the tiding. So, and he couldn't book this monster, so I could crash with Alistair here. And so that way I have a monster for a potential link play. Then I decide to go battle phase and activate tiding to bring back the parlor. So now I can out at least 1 monster here, because even if he books this one I can attack with this, and if he books this I can tag out and attack with lore par. And I tag out, and here he decides to book my red MD. So here I decide to attack the Raijin, just because Mechaba needs to grab a monster if he wants to negate a monster effect. Also has to top deck, sorry. And then I decide to tag out again, just because I can negate lore par. With lore par I can negate something. Like, I don't know if they get something good on the field. And then he went straight to battle phase, and in start step I decide to use Heavenly Spheres to negate the field effect, but it does not get banished because it changed its location, and it negates the field effect and it's in graveyard, so it does not get banished and still gets the special summon effect. So then I first want to summon Chamber, but then I decide to Nurse summon. Then I can bring back Parlor, and with Parlor I can dump the Earnest, so I get another really good starter for my next turn. I tag out, and yeah, here I just had too much resources and my opponent scoops. So yeah, this was a quick 2-0 for my Dragonmaid. I hope you enjoy, and turn in next time, leave a comment, subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.